Everybody, welcome back to your favorite sports talk show here on the campus of Indiana State University. Sports Extra. From 6 to 7, you can always hear myself or whoever I have all along with me for the ride. Of course, myself, as always, Coby Clark, the sports director here at WZIS. And who we got over here today?
Man, we got Joseph, the Truth, the Lawn Moore in the building.
How many more nicknames do you get? And I get none.
You know what? We just out here, man. You know, you have to be given them. It's like a rite of passage. You know, nobody could place the crown on you. You know, you have to kind of like be the crown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. So I can't be just walking in the building acting like I own this place. I got to earn my title.
Exactly. But you are a king, Coby Clark. Don't get it twisted.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Joe, man, I appreciate that. You know, I work my butt off, and I was trying to show everyone, prove everyone wrong who said I couldn't do it, and here I am. You know,
talk to him.
Oh, I'm talking to him now. Have a great show for you guys listed today. Of course, this is obviously your favorite sports talk show, Sports Extra, and we like to talk about sports. So,
facts.
On Sports
that is
Extra,
we do.
Mondays, we like to talk about the Indy scene, Terre Haute, Indiana State, and then hit the professionals. And then on Tuesdays, you can hit and listen to Sports Extra Uncut. That's from 4 to 5 on our Twitch, where we talk about the professional sports around the world involving NFL, MLB, NBA, you know it. You name it. What, you got it, okay? Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
If you are listening to us and watching us live on Twitch, shout out to you. What up? WZIS-FM, and shout out all of our other social medias with that same handle. Give them a like, follow, subscribe. You know what to do. In our YouTube, you know, I'll be uploading all these on YouTube. We get a good amount of likes and a lot of views. So, I mean, if you guys want to ever rewatch this and see our faces while we talk, go for it. WZIS-FM on YouTube.
Go crazy. We're on the come up, man.
Absolutely. First off, Joe, it's been a minute, man. You weren't here at all last week.
Yes.
How you been? What's going on? Let the people know.
Man, it was very tough. You know, got a little bit of the itis. You know what I mean? Had a bout with some virus, and you know, got the cootie. But we straight. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Definitely, I was bedridden for a couple of days. Definitely put me out of my mojo. I wanted to grind 2K. Wanted to grind Overwatch. Neither of those really happened like that. But still, you know, we good now. Definitely was some type of sore throat type of situation and stuff, but we good now. I'm happy to be back in the building, happy to be sitting across from you, Mr. Clark, and I'm happy to get into some sports, man.
Hey, man, I'm just happy you're back. You know, it was a long week without you, Joe. We had to carry the sports team without you and the news team as well.
Hey,
so
you guys did great.
Hey, man, we try to be like you. That's all I can say.
Not down in my mind.
Hey, tonight's rundown for Sports Extra, I put that out on the Twitter. If you want to go check it, WZIS-FM. Always got a plug. Indiana State drops their 6th straight to Illinois State on homecoming weekend. Going to talk about that, the highs, the lows, and where this team where they're looking for the near future. We're going to start off with that. Then we're going to talk about some Indianapolis Colts news as breaking news around the NFL today. Matt Ryan, the now former starting quarterback of the Colts, is now going to be benched for the new starter, Sam Ehlinger. Love to hear that. And the Indiana Pacers, we'll talk about that finally to recap it. As this man, I don't know if you heard of him or not, around the station, he's kind of popular. Rookie Benedict Mathurin. He's just, I put it as simple as this, is going to be a star.
Absolute star.
As I drop the mic, really my phone. But hey, we're going to get into all of that stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks.
Absolutely have to agree. But Joe, as always, let's talk about the local scene here on campus.
Yes, sir.
As it was homecoming week this past Saturday, as it was Indiana State at home at Memorial Stadium, taking on the visiting Illinois State Redbirds. We had a parade. There's a lot of festivities going all week long on campus. Unfortunately, you were never a part of a single one of them. And I was unfortunately, well, not really unfortunately, but I guess to an extent, wasn't able to cover the game or the parade, as my father did just recently get married.
Shout out to Mr. Clark, man.
Hey, man, it was a lot of fun. You know, I haven't shown you the pictures yet.
You did. You posted
I
on
did.
the snap. Yeah.
Yes,
the
I did.
Cowboy jerseys, I love that.
We don't talk about that. Yeah, my father and my two brothers, big Cowboy fans. I'm the lone Saints fan of the family. Don't ask how. It's just really complicated. And I was forced to put on a Dakota Prescott jersey. So, yeah, it turns out
Prescott.
I'm winning the Best Son Award for that. So hopefully, yeah. Love you, Dad. Congratulations if you're listening. But yeah, let's talk about this game going on. The Indiana State team, they were in action this Saturday. ISU was celebrating. You know, they have a nice little, I guess, turnaround, I guess you can say. I wouldn't say necessarily a huge turnaround, but a nice, better direction because they were kind of going down this rabbit hole where, I mean, the former quarterback of Gavin Screws and this defense just wasn't looking all that great. Defense still isn't really looking all the best. But, they found some, glimmer of hope when they started Cade Chambers, and he put them in the right direction. Justin Dinka, he all of a sudden, he was doing all right before Cade started. As you can mention, you've seen him play before. I've seen him play a little bit, just not to the caliber as what he's doing right now. And, they kind of found a little bit of hope. It's just not correlating into their record at 1-6.
Yeah, it's really tough. With this Indiana State team, didn't really have a lot of success. Had a lot of obviously heartache and off the field troubles early in the season, and then you go into the season, really get into the nitty gritty. Already have a tough schedule ahead of you. It's just kind of L after L after L, and normally it was okay, pretty good defense. Questionable offense at best, right? And then moving forward, you make that quarterback switch with Cade Chambers, and that switch would eventually lead to this explosive offense just kind of out of the blue, out of nowhere when it comes to this Indiana State team that, nobody thought that had in them. And again, Cade, I really do love Cade. I love how he plays.
Absolutely.
He kind of reminds me of kind of a maybe skinnier, Josh Allen type of player.
That's really different, obviously. But yes, I like to see what you're saying.
He's not Josh Allen. Don't get me twisted. But in playing style, he has a really good arm, really good accuracy, and he's athletic and kind of taller built.
Right.
So he can have that semi-physical moments whenever he needs to be in the pocket, and then you have to scramble a little bit. Not afraid to take a hit here or there. That just kind of leads to a composed type of being when it comes to Cade. And then you have Justin Dinka, who emerged as well. Out here really getting these big time runs. He's a big play threat almost every time he's on the field.
It's almost scary. And I'm not going to put any bias towards it, but he kind of reminds me a little bit of Alvin Kamara because he can really create his own run and he can kind of get into play action.
I can see that for sure. And just a way to playmaking after he gets the ball and stuff like that. And it was just oh wow, especially almost winning against a game against the team that was number one in the FCS, number one in your conference. That's this big ray of hope. And then right as the offense was starting or almost got it completely together, the defense just crumbles. And I have no idea what it is, but over when you combine, the game before this last one, before homecoming game, where they gave up 45 points.
Yes.
And the first quarter of this homecoming game, the Indiana State Sycamores defense gave up 65 points over the course of 5 quarters. That is not a Brad Wilson defense.
This is not what you want to see if you're a Sycamore fan.
It's actually crazy. So again, I'm not sure what happened. But obviously Indiana State eventually figured it out later in this game, but I don't know. What's your thoughts, man?
It's very important that you said later on in the game because they went down. You have all these players, all these fans hyping this game up for a homecoming. A lot of people are showing out, and when I say a lot of people, I don't mean just a lot of fans. I mean a very important people on the campus, like our president was even there, and all these people coming at alumni showing their support. They go down 20-0 in the first quarter. Not what you want to see from this young, impressive team. Give credit to Illinois State. They're a nice team.
Word.
They're now currently 5-2 on the year. Yeah. They're third in the Missouri Valley, and they have a matchup with number 1 this weekend in South Dakota State. So that should be very fun if you're into Missouri Valley action. I really highly recommend watching that game.
Go crazy.
But absolutely, this Redbirds team, they're just nothing that you want to pass by. Mm-hmm. We noticed it very early in this game. If you were to go back to their last couple of games and comparing what Cade Chambers and Dinka has been doing real well with this Sycamores team, I almost kind of gave him a chance. I kind of liked the direction because Cade was out playing Zach in the last couple of games. The running game was impressive, and the defense, albeit not quite there, we know they can show up.
For sure.
Especially back in week 1 when they played Northern Alabama. It was a defensive-minded game. But right now, it's just no identity. Mm-hmm. The only identity that can really potentially match this kind of Indiana State football team is the youth and excitement. And I wouldn't even, spell it out with capital letters excitement. I'm just like, hey, there's this guy and this dude. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, for sure. It's just Two things. One, looking forward for Indiana State, I think Cade is a really good option moving forward.
I do agree.
You know what I mean?
I like him.
To start building a program around. And that's a good thing. That's a positive. I'm not saying the season's over looking for a forward season. But
No.
still, this is a decent foundation. I don't know what class Justin Dinka is, but him, and then hopefully you get a good recruiting class when it comes to the O-line, give good protection. You can formulate an actually pretty competent, productive offense for Indiana State. But looking at this game specifically, ooh, did this hurt.
It really did.
Ooh, did this hurt. We are
it's
talking
unfortunate.
about one of the most heartbreaking situations, right on the brink of turning it around for this Indiana State season, right on the homecoming day.
It's so close.
Like you said, president in the stands, all these people coming in from the walk, a lot of excitement, a lot of people who've never seen Indiana State ball like this fell short in the most painful fashion. Last drive of the game, Cade throws an absolute dime on 4th and 20 to Dante Hendricks to keep the drive alive. They needed just a touchdown to tie. An extra point would have won it. That's all they had to do.
Yep.
The very next play after converting that 4 and 20 interception, it was just that hurt. I'm sure, again, I wasn't in the locker room, but I wish I was, because I bet you could have heard a pin drop on that floor, because there's no way that did not hurt. But, again, looking forward, Indiana State, they're good. You still have Dante Hendricks, and that Dante Hendricks-Cade Chambers connection had a couple of massive plays in that game. And then looking forward, you have a run game, you have a receiving game, and luckily the defense at least figured it out, but it almost felt like by the second quarter, it was too late. You know what I mean?
I absolutely agree.
So, it was just, it's tough, don't get me wrong, but for Indiana State, there still is hope to kind of salvage this season at least a little bit, gain momentum, start building a culture of winning at Indiana State. But, man, really tough situation if you're an Indiana State Sycamore.
I got to absolutely. I'm going to miss this dude. Everyone knew how important he was going into this team's season and success. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't necessarily put any blame on him. Dante Hendricks, the man I'm talking about, he's just been so impressive his last couple of games, whether it be Gavin, whether it be Cade. No matter who's giving him the ball, Dante has proven why he has been one of the top receiving threats in this entire conference the last couple of years.
I'm going to keep it a buck. When it comes to FCS ball, he's nice.
He's a dog.
He's a dog. Got that dog in him.
I really do believe when he says that he can go anywhere in the country
really
and play, because he doesn't have to be the number one. We're not talking, SEC, Pac-12, but I'm talking, maybe Big Ten action. This man can get playing time.
100%, 100%, and make plays to really make a difference, make his impact known from a Saturday to Saturday basis.
Mm-hmm. Against the Big Ten competition in West Lafayette against Purdue back in week 2, he played an impressive game, albeit he was hurt a little bit halfway through, but he came back. That's just showing how tough of a competitor and how serious he takes this. He's not going to be that guy that's out there, expecting and complaining. He's going to work hard. He's going to earn his shot, and he's been doing that here at ISU.
I completely agree, Mr. Clark.
I absolutely have to. Shout out to them. It's just so unfortunate the way that it's not correlating to wins. We kind of have to say a 1-6 ISU team's not going to do a whole lot for the rest of the season.
Yeah. There's not much that can take place.
But shout out Illinois State, man. They're a real good team. I got to say, I really like what they're going to do, what they're down there doing right here, right now.
Some plays. I have to respect it.
Zach Annexstead throwing for 274 yards, throwing for 2 touchdowns. They got a nice running game, and Wright over 180 yards. So you got to know that's a big man. Jalen Carr, just barely not 100, but 99 receiving yards and a touchdown. He loves to spread the ball. He got it to a lot of his, 4 different receivers and his running backs in the game. So shout out to Zach Annexstead and this Illinois State team. They definitely, every time I see an ISU versus ISU matchup like that, the Redbirds, Sycamores, there's always something, no matter what sport. There was always that little rivalry, I guess you can say.
I see that.
But yeah, man, it's tough, ISU falling their 6th straight after, I'm not saying high hopes, but good potential coming into the year.
Yeah, there could be just something that just makes me really want to be at, Memorial Stadium and stuff. I still really want to be there just to see Cade and stuff. But man, it's just really tough because we really just not, it doesn't feel like we're playing for anything, for the rest of the season.
We're playing to see who can, keep this and play for next year.
For sure.
I don't see us doing a whole lot the rest of the year. I mean, let's just take a look at the remaining schedule here for Indiana State. Just next week, they have a road matchup. They're going to go down to they're going to go down to South Dakota State. And then they come back at home for November 5th. I know I'm on the call for that one. It'll be North Dakota. Then they go out on the road again for Western Illinois. And then finally end the season potentially at home at Memorial Stadium with Missouri State. So best case scenario, this team could be a 5-6 team, something similar to what they were last year. But as the schedule is remaining, there's a tough South Dakota State team. There's, a half-decent North Dakota. Western Illinois, going back to last year, gave them some problems, and same thing for Missouri State. So, it'll be quite interesting to see what's going to happen. We're going to have to just take it day by day, game by game. Every practice counts for all these guys. They're going to try and earn that playing time. No job is safe. We can clearly tell that with the next thing that we're going to be talking about going into the Indianapolis Colts in that Matt Ryan and Sam Ehlinger situation.
Not Jacob.
Wow.
Sorry, that was my friend Jacob.
What are you talking about?
Mr. Clark. Mr. Coby.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Fantastic segue. I was just about to say.
Thank you. I really like that. Yeah.
10 out of 10.
But yeah, good luck to Illinois State on the remainder of the year. I was actually wrong. I got it confused. It's North Dakota State, which is still a great game that you want to watch.
It's still good, yeah.
I think North Dakota State's either 4th or 5th in the Missouri Valley Conference. So absolutely, that game's at 3:30. And if you want to catch Indiana State, that is a kickoff of 3 p.m. on the road next week.
Word.
So, but yeah, we're going to take a quick 30-second break right here on Sports Extra, and then we're going to get talking about some Indianapolis Colts breaking news. Stay tuned for Joe and myself as you're listening to Z90.7 WZIS.
Let me try.
Okay, just remember what I showed you.
Yep. There was a bunny who had one big ear and another big ear. They looped-a-looped, made a bow, and the bunny hopped away. I did it!
Oh, good job, kiddo. Now let's tie your other shoe.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Sports Extra. Myself, Kobe Clark, alongside with my main man, my home slice, my diggity dog, Joseph Moore. Was that too much or was that just enough?
Nah, I honestly wanted you to keep on going.
Oh, man. Well, I'm not going to butter you up too much.
Oh, man.
We got to get you in a bad mood as it's
For
Colts
sure,
time, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we kind of go from ISU, and then we like to talk about the professional stuff here. So get our own 1-2 spin on it, and potentially third. We're still trying to get a third person on the show. We just got a new person at the station this last week. Shout out Colin, if you're listening.
Shout out Colin.
You could just be like Colin. You can come right there, room 323, Dreiser Hall, 3rd floor. Come through. You could be like
Colin,
us.
Man. Be like Colin.
Absolutely. Be like Colin. Get that trending. But yes, breaking news struck the NFL world today as Matt Ryan, the former Atlanta Falcons quarterback, now this season, former starting quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. He is out of that starting position, according to Frank Reich, after a press conference released today. My first initial thoughts, not surprised. I, as a Saints fan, never was fond of Matt Ryan due to him being in the same division as us. But I will say he's got good leadership quality, and he's always had a great mind of the game. Pretty good vision as well. But this Matt Ryan, I don't know who this Matt Ryan is. This is the Matt Ryan I wish I was playing every year when he was in a Falcons jersey.
I bet you did.
But unfortunately, he's flip-flopped, run amok onto your team. What is happening? Is this a good move by Frank Reich? What's going on? Because apparently he's not even going to be suiting up for a single game this year, albeit due to injuries to Sam or Nick.
Yeah, injuries. Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, I'm not buying the whole injury thing. I think this was a situation where the front office was talking to Frank Reich, who has probably been on the hot seat as well with this start of the Indianapolis Colts. And, they probably said, hey, listen, you're going to need to start him in the beginning of the season, whether he wanted to or not, had to start him. And then obviously kind of just deteriorated from there, losing again and again to AFC South opponents. And it just kind of snowballed into the situation of, okay, we have one of the top rushers in the league, but we're not getting touches to him. We're throwing the ball 40 times with a 37, 38-year-old quarterback. And his first year outside of the team that drafted him. It just was so confusing. And then, now they're probably, Frank Reich, obviously in the hot seat, needs a change. They, front office probably sat him down and was like, listen, we cannot have this man start for us.
No.
We cannot have this man be the leader of his team. And I kind of disagree with you, Kobe Clark, to the fact of Matt Ryan being a leader.
Really?
A leader
really
does not allow this to happen. I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't see
Former Matt Ryan would never have let this happen.
No. Because Matt Ryan doesn't have that same weight that he does with the Falcons.
You're not wrong.
Because with the Colts, you just came here, dog. Like, you really not one of us yet, and you haven't been playing, to earn that respect, so why are we going to listen to you? Like, he can talk all he wants in the locker room, but frankly, he's just talking to a bunch of blue lockers. Like, there's just no way that he can, really acquire that level of intensity from his teammates and stuff like that. And to the Colts' credit, there has been a bit injuries, knick-knack here and there to players that are impactful to what the Colts have going on. But nevertheless, you spend a lot of draft capital into multiple quarterbacks over the last couple of years, and not a single one of them, Phillip Rivers was okay, but it's still like Phillip Rivers.
He was definitely the best option.
Exactly.
I mean, he got you a playoff run.
Hey, there you go. So, but other than Phillip Rivers, it just never really turned into anything. Now, I think this was kind of a drastic change. I was kind of taken aback, like, oh, he's not suiting up at all the rest of the season. I thought, maybe a couple of games, then see if Sam plays well, and then we throw Matt Ryan back in because he's still, I don't know about accurate. He can put the ball in the money sometimes.
His completion percentage on the season is a solid 68.4.
Exactly. His completion percentage isn't bad. It's just I hesitate on accurate because of the interceptions.
Yeah.
But stuff like that. But again, I thought it was a comfortability thing where Matt Ryan just did not look comfortable. And I just don't know what it is. You know what I mean? It might be just a change of scenery, just take a while to get adjusted. Plus, you're on the hot seat because you have all these really good players and you're new to the situation. Again, it could be a lot of factors that play into why Matt Ryan is bad this season for the Colts. But again, I'm kind of surprised. But Sam, he's in the hot seat.
I love Sam. I really liked him.
He is the control center of the Indianapolis Colts, who have a player that was voted one of the best offensive weapons in the league just very recently. And he has offensive targets. He has players that can make plays. Again, I was one of those people who was I'm not sure if Michael Pittman Jr. is really a number one wide receiver. I
you were wrong.
Take back. I was.
You apologize.
I wouldn't
to him.
say if I was incorrect. I would just wait and see mode in the beginning of the season. But I will admit, he proved me completely any doubt in my mind proved me wrong. So there we go. You have a team that's built for playoff success with the Colts, and now you just need a quarterback. Sam played well in the preseason. It's wait and see mode on him. I'm excited to watch him play this Sunday. They play Sunday, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay,
they
good.
have a ironically matchup against former Colts quarterback Carson Wentz, but he will not be playing. It'll be Taylor Heineke taking it around 2.
So let's wait and see mode on the Colts. And, hopefully Sam does his thing. I hope he does, while Matty Ice is on the ice right now.
There is one thing I want to go back to what you alluded to earlier. It's unfortunate it has to come to this.
Yeah.
But I think Reich and Ballard are on the edge of that hot seat right now.
Oh, most definitely.
I mean, I just don't see in the right mind. How long's Ballard been here? He's been here for a good solid couple of years.
A good minute, yeah.
Not too long, but not too not early.
He's not a staple of the operations now.
We are expecting something. Frank Reich comes in after having a Carson Wentz almost become this different man out in Philadelphia, top 5 in MVP voting, and before his injury. And then, takes Nick Foles, of all people, into Super Bowl MVP mode and defeats Tom Brady. Frank Reich has earned a starting job, but I don't think he's going to keep the starting job. I don't think that the way that the seasons have ended and the way that this hasn't gone, I don't think you could be a head coach coming into your year and then bye-bye. You have so many different quarterbacks. We have experienced Andrew Luck. Jacoby Brissett, Phillip Rivers.
My goodness.
We've
man.
seen Carson Wentz. Now we've seen Matt Ryan. We're going to see Sam Ellinger soon. Like Frank Reich, this Colts team before, they're so used to Andrew Luck all the time. And then unfortunately what happened with him. And then
Manning all the time.
Manning, Peyton of all
Yeah.
people. I keep hitting the mic. But I mean, it's just insane
Word.
that the last couple of seasons have turned out to this. And I think that if Irsay doesn't see some success with Sam this year, I don't think that he's going to give him another chance.
Okay, so I don't know how much weight I'm going to put on Frank Reich for this. However, I will say his play calling this year has been very questionable.
Absolutely.
Questionable at the very least, I should say.
My man Jonathan Taylor's not getting enough touches.
Not getting touches at all. You look at all these other backs, like, shoot, if Josh Jacobs, could get 23 touches,
He's so impressive.
he can do what he does. Like, why can't Jonathan Taylor? Why if Kessler Walker the third is that his name for
Kenneth
Seahawks?
Walker the third.
Yeah, if he can get like close to 30, like why can't Jonathan Taylor get those? That's a different thing. However,
I think there's a pride thing, something going on
there
here.
has to be something going on. There has to be. I don't know if it's something with the injury. Maybe he knows something that we don't about Jonathan Taylor, but JT needs to get those touches because really filling out the defense and feeling like, the physicality, the flow of the game, and really getting into that mode, because right now is when you're supposed to be hitting your stride when you're back in the league.
Facts.
When you're trying to get that stride going, especially when you're like leading up to when it gets into the nitty gritty where these games really, really count. Shoot, most of these games for the Colts really, really count when you're talking about how many divisional matchups they had. So I don't know why, Frank Reich was like, I don't know if we should play him, really give him those touches, those opportunities, and get him going early in the season when we have all these important games out, in the beginning of the season. That's another thing. But again, Colts fans have whiplash when it comes to the quarterback. They have complete whiplash. They over here, over there, just
See ya.
a bunch of like wash QBs here, and then like a bunch of backup QBs here and here sprinkled throughout. There needs to be some type of consistency. And I felt like after Carson Wentz, there would be like, okay, we're gonna go after a guy, go into the draft, trade up, just make a move for somebody who they think is the future, or somebody who's entering or in their prime now, but has a good amount of years left in them in the tank to where they could retire as a Colt.
But they didn't. They passed over all of the options.
But they didn't. And it's absolutely preposterous.
It's weird.
This front office really needs to look themselves in the mirror and like see what they put together on the field and how they neglected the most important position in the game of football, in that quarterback position. They really need to look at themselves in the mirror.
It's upsetting, really.
It's upsetting. It is a tragedy, and Joe's dad is upset. Okay.
I knew if I was a Colts fan, I feel so like hurt and betrayed and lost.
Betrayed, yes, correct.
I'm I'm the Colts. I expect hard work, leadership, and I haven't seen any of that within the last couple of years, really. From an outside looking in, I haven't seen a whole lot. I mean, like I said, you go from the years of Luck, solid. You go from Peyton Manning, phenomenal, to this. The last good quarterback was Phillip Rivers, and he wasn't even spectacular.
Like he was okay. You know
Everyone
what I mean?
expected
He was
Carson
mid.
Wentz
He
to
was
be
okay.
him. For Carson Wentz to, he's got Frank Reich, the guy who almost made him an MVP. He's going to be a leader. He's going to lead this team to what they need to be, and they're not. He's not. He didn't do that. He's gone.
It's so tough because Carson Wentz wasn't that bad to the last couple of games in the season.
Don't
I
matter.
understand why they got rid of him.
Absolutely.
And I still think that's the right move. However, it's kind of like maybe they jumped the gun just a little bit.
You think?
You know what I mean? Maybe they just jumped the gun. Again, Carson Wentz isn't playing good this season at all. But
True.
at least Carson Wentz could have a little bit of swag in the locker room to where he can actually mobilize a team. I don't think Matt Ryan has that in the tank for him. I just don't think he either cares enough or he just has that ability. Period. I don't know. This Colts team is annoying, irritating. I hope they turn some type of switch or just flip something to actually get something going. But it's what it is.
I think it's enough of talking about the negatives of this team in the past. Let's talk about the future. We got Sam Ellinger from Texas. I absolutely Let me do my best Chris Collinsworth impersonation. Now here's a guy.
We're talking about a guy.
We're talking about this guy. I really like him. I liked him out of college. I mean, I didn't expect him to be, such a high draft pick. I mean, no one did, but he was a perfect candidate. You got to think about what he's been learning. He's learned behind Matt Ryan, former MVP. Mm-hmm. He's learned behind Phillip Rivers. Well, I think, was it Phillip Rivers or was he the year after?
I think so.
Either way, he's been around the game. I mean, he grew up in the Texas farm field. Like, this whole area and the Colts quarterbacks who've been before him, there's some great knowledge that can be bestowed onto this man.
Fair.
I'm not saying Sam's the answer by any means. We just have to wait and see. But I like what is going to happen, and I'm hoping the best for Sam. I think he can really, become the guy here in Indy. We'll just have to wait and see.
Wait and see him over me. I just hope we actually get some good football from the Colts.
I think the most impressive part is that you guys still have a very good shot. I mean, you lost both games to Tennessee. That's unfortunate, but
that's how sorry the AFC is.
It's bad.
But, wild card is definitely a good, an option for the Colts. It's not. The season's not over.
Division. I mean, you can still win the division.
Technically, yes, for sure.
Technically, yeah. See how the Titans are going to match
exactly.
up. But one thing we didn't really discuss and dive in to this game. But I mean, it just wasn't a pretty game. It's been your very typical Matt Ryan led Colts game this season. The running game wasn't used as much. The passing game, Paris Campbell's getting 13 targets.
44 times. I'm sorry, that is crazy for Matt Ryan.
I know.
44 times for a 37-year-old Matt Ryan when you have JT in the backfield is crazy. I'm sorry, that is just preposterous.
One of the main reasons that he's only getting 10 carries is because they go down so early, and I don't understand what's going on with this team.
I don't know. It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad just to understand, just break down this team sometimes.
Down 13-0 at half.
And again, shout out to Titans.
You have to start throwing the ball.
Exactly. And shout out to Titans. Derrick Henry, he's nice.
Dog, always.
I mean, it was a game.
It was a game.
It was a game.
That can be said.
It was a game.
It was a game. For the AFC South, I mean, Texans, Jags can be some sort of threat still. Titans are the lone team at the top now, having a 2-0 advantage inside the conference over the Indianapolis Colts. This means the Colts, we're going into week 8 now. We're almost halfway through the season, which is preposterous to say the least. They will be returning home with a potential matchup. Well, as I said, they were going to face Carson Wentz, former, sort of like a revenge game of sorts. He's not going to be playing. Still out due to injury he picked up 2 weeks ago. So it's going to be Taylor Heineke and Sam Ehlinger. Kind of like, a huge. I'm not even gonna start. It's just gonna be a weird game.
It's just gonna.
I mean,
be
hey,
so
he just beat Aaron Rodgers. Give it to him. Give him the credit.
This might be a game where I watch maybe a quarter of, and I'm just like, what am I doing? What?
I watched that whole game, man.
How has my life come to this? You know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah, but hopefully the Colts. Hopefully, Sam puts on a show.
We'll see how the Colts turn out. I mean, it's unfortunate, but Joe, I know it will make you really happy.
Oh, what?
Benedict Mathurin.
Oh, my.
That's all we got to say. We're just going to leave it at that. We're going to take another quick 30-second break, and then we're going to talk about the impressive rookie play of Benedict Mathurin, how the Indiana Pacers have been playing up to par, how we're liking it this season through 3 games, and a little bit of action that's going to happen tonight as they travel to Philadelphia to take on the 0-3 76ers. Very interesting. While we're on the subject, shout out Philadelphia Phillies, making the NLDS.
Shout out to them. I hope they win.
Awesome. Good for them. Shout out Houston Astros, winners of the ALDS. Absolutely love it. But yeah, quick 30-second break. We got Pacers talk right here on Z90.7 WZIS.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college, which ends up making the future better for all of us. My name is Alicia, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Sports Extra right here on 90.7, Z90.7, WZIS. We got Joseph Moore over there.
Yo.
I'm Coby Clark.
Yo.
Joe, I mean, it's tough. We go from ISU sports and then a little bit of lows and some potential highs. We'll see how the week falls for the Indianapolis Colts. But one thing that we are unanimously happy about.
Wow.
Benedict Mathurin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Love to see it. The rookie from Arizona, this man, a whole lot of people were, sleeping on him. Oh, he's like, oh, how the big how media is. Oh, Indiana, we don't talk about them.
Of course.
Ew, no. We only talk about the LAs, the Houston, the Dallas, all the Texas Colt, the Floridas and New Yorks. But the Pacers are absolutely killing it. They're 1-2, and that's why we're happy. We want them to lose. # tank for Victor.
Love it.
Absolutely, man. I mean, the first week of the NBA season, a lot has already gone on. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow on Uncut from 4 to 5. That'll be a lot of fun. I mean, there's so many things to be taken. But, I mean, shout out to Benedict Mathurin. This man has scored the most points through any rookie. And I mean any rookie since the year 1995 with a total of 72 points.
It's amazing. And I just want to take you back, Kobe Clark, to when we were talking about the draft. Right?
Let me hear it, man.
I was high on Jaden Ivey, but I could tell that
who wasn't?
He wasn't. No disrespect whatsoever, but he's a little bit raw and in his talents and stuff like that. But his ceiling, incredible, right? But I'm not super high on taking the people who are just raw talent with potential, can shake up. I'm a gambling man myself. And, I kind of like taking that risk. However, when you have a guy like Benedict Mathurin at the number 6 spot, a person who really has that mentality. And right now, I'm starting to take mentality over anything when it comes to prospects now.
100. I'm right there with you.
Because when you come to nowadays, where you have these big kind of factory farms for professional talent in America, and it's drills after drills and from early ages too, we talking about 4 or 5 year olds, doing all these drills and then going in AAU where they play tons of games. And it's just kind of this factory farm for talent that just gets pushed out. The love for the game is lost a little bit.
Absolutely.
The love for the game is lost a little bit. And when I say I watched them Arizona games, and shout out to my family in Arizona too, kind of jealous. They have a good, basketball teams down there and stuff. And then they've been through some pain, but they still got some talent over there. Shout out to them.
You need to talk about that one wild story.
I will talk about it. I'll reveal that information on a later date. I might have it for Uncut.
All right, we'll talk. Yeah, if you want to hear a crazy story that happened in the life of Joe.
Exactly, about Victor Wembanyama. Just know that me and him might be in-laws. Whoa! Spoiler alert, but little tip for Uncut. However, but going forward, when I saw him play in Arizona, I could tell this young man loves this game.
Yes.
And what is going to get you farther than almost any other physical tools, especially when you're already in the pool when it comes to top 10 picks, is love for the game. He has that passion, and he plays with it every single night. And you can see he truly wants to win. The Pacers have gone to the extent where they're almost sitting him down, basically complete quarters, just so we lose these games. Because we know Benedict Mathurin could mess around and get us. Benedict Mathurin plus the great play from Tyrese Halliburton, obviously, and Jalen Smith, who's coming up, and all these other guys. He could possibly mess around and give us a play-in spot, which we don't want.
We don't want that.
Do not want.
Keep balling out, but not wins.
Too much.
No wins.
Let's hold it up. Hold up now.
Absolutely.
But, man, Benedict Mathurin is nice. We talking 19 points first game. Second game, what we working with? We working with, 26 points. And then recently win over the Pistons, which is another tanking team, but still.
I don't know how we're winning.
With 27 points. Benedict Mathurin is nice.
He's not just nice. I think, this isn't me just saying, hyping up an Indiana team. I think Benedict Mathurin is the next star of this league. I think he has, as you said, he has the drive. He has great ability on the court. I mean, this dude he just has so much energy. And everyone's just rallying around him. I can't wait to go to the Pacers games this year and just cheer on my man, looking at this, how young and he's happy to be here. When was the last time we genuinely had someone that wanted to be here besides maybe Halliburton? I mean, Victor for a period of time. We haven't had that guy.
I don't think like Victor wanted to be here like straight up. Period. I think he just
Really
balled out
not even
so,
a
he balled
slight-
out so he could leave. That's like with every other like star in
You're not
Indiana
wrong.
and stuff like that. And Tyrese Halliburton, I would say that he kind of wanted to stay in Sacramento. I think he kind of
did.
expressed that he was heartbroken by the move that Sacramento made to trade him to Indiana, but I think he still loves being here in Indiana. I think
He does have family close here.
Exactly. So I think he does like it here, but still, Benedict Mathurin, he called up Tyrese Halliburton. I think it was like a day or two before the draft, and he was like, "Hey, I want to be in Indiana." And Tyrese Halliburton was like, "I don't have the facilities to make you like Indiana Pacer, but
Hey,
if you're here,
I love to hear that. I'll shoot a text
Exactly.
to
I'll try
Pritchard.
my best, but
Hey,
that's not my call.
I mean-
but my pay grade. But
Hey, we'll figure that out. I don't have like LeBron status.
hey, like, listen, but hey, we out here. But still, like, again, Benedict Mathurin, amazing.
Absolutely. And one thing that goes along greatly with Benedict Mathurin is the potential for this team. We've seen it through 2 games already. Let's just do a little recap between all 3 games here. The season started back on Wednesday at home against the Washington Wizards. Buddy Hield, who we don't know if he's going to be on the team. There's been a lot of rumors from the Lakers, even Miles Turner. What's going on with him? He put up a nice 16 points. Tyrese Halliburton, the guy, the man, the myth, the legend, 26 points, playing a nice 36 minutes a game. I mean, that's what you want to see from one of your young studs. You want to see him play as much as he can and just keep building off of his performances and just stay healthy. I hope nothing bad from this team.
Why would you say that?
Trust me.
No.
Joe, trust me.
Kobe,
It works.
Why did you say that?
It works.
No.
I've said it, and they never got hurt before.
Yo,
It's not even just the Pacers.
couldn't have. Once Victor went out, obviously with indie sports in general, with all the injury history.
You trust me. Trust me.
I don't trust you.
You need to.
Okay.
You need to trust me. Nothing's bad has ever happened before I've said that.
Bro.
To be fair, I have never talked about the Pacers in that sense.
Exactly. Okay then. Like,
I'm sorry.
I'm about to go over this. Bro, I should have. We gonna talk after this. We gonna talk. It's fine.
Oh, great. I'm in trouble, guys.
But yeah, with this Indiana team, man, like, we have a lot of good talent. Again, Jalen Smith, top 10 pick.
I love Jalen Smith.
I love Sticks, man.
He just never got a chance.
never really had a chance and stuff. And like, I like him because for 2 reasons. One, he has like the talent to really be a really good contributing new age 4. I mean, he can go down low and do, a little bit of work. He's really a finesse finisher, kind of like DeAndre Ayton, but he can still shoot the 3 ball really well. And then he can block shots, rebound. He's really, really versatile when it comes to that 4 position if you're looking for a 4 that has length but has that mobility as well. And then you have, Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton, dog. I mean, I believe it was his game with the Spurs where he said, man, I played really, really bad. And he had 27 points, 12 assists, 3 rebounds, and shot 50% from the field. He was like, that's a bad game for Tyrese Halliburton.
That's an amazing game for me.
Exactly. So, again, like, he holds himself accountable, really, really talented. What else can I say about Tyrese Halliburton? Shoots the ball. I feel like I've never seen him miss a 3 before in my life. Like, he is just
He's
really,
a weird
really
shooting
good.
form, too.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the thing in his draft. That's why he went at 12 or 13th, I believe, where they were just like, the shot's not going to translate in the league. I don't know what they were saying.
Oh, because Lonzo's was.
Yeah, because
that makes
Lonzo's was.
sense.
Exactly. Facts. But yeah, like, again, you have like a really young team. Then you have like even tradable assets that can bring you even more young talent in, Buddy Hield and Miles Turner and stuff like that. Even though I hope Miles Turner does stay an Indiana Pacer, because I feel like he has the ability to be that veteran leader. Again, I think that kind of gets lost too much in now NBA like rebuilding teams. It's just like those veteran players who know the program, know the coach, knows the front office, knows how the league works, and knows how contracts work.
They just don't do it anymore.
They don't do it
They
anymore.
expect their stars to come through with that sort of leadership.
Exactly, but when you don't know the city, you don't know the people, you don't know what you're playing for. Miles Turner knows what Indiana basketball is. He was drafted here. He knows what the city is. He's become a fantastic contributing NBA player, league leader in blocks, multiple times. that's a person that you want to keep.
A lot of kids have gotten a lot of free backpacks because of that man.
Exactly. I'm like literally so many free backpacks just because of him. So again, like what he's done, what he means to the Indiana basketball is more than just like you can just throw away in a trade. So like again, and you just have so many pieces. Ijax really good, projects to be a really good defensive, backup big who's versatile, lob threat. When was the last time the Pacers had a lob threat? Never. So again,
Joe Green.
It's sad. But yeah, it's just so exciting to have this Pacers team where we can be fun and watchable and yet lose many, many games, hopefully.
Glenn Robinson III.
Fair.
Very fair. He did win a slam dunk contest.
Yeah, but he never like played in like a pick and roll setting or like any type of scheme where he
True.
A lot to where we had a point guard that would throw.
It was like a 3-and-D without the 3.
Yeah, exactly. He's weird. But hey, man, long NBA career. I mean, I wish I was him. Honestly, just ride on the bench for a couple of years, just be, get good
100%.
seats, get
Absolutely.
money just for chilling. I wish I was that. Hey, but yeah, I'm happy for him. I'm happy. You want to get into the 76ers thing?
I do.
This is who the Pacers play tonight. Who we will hopefully get just ran through by. But yeah, it's 0-3.
0-3 Philadelphia.
James Harden.
Very interesting. I mean,
Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a preview. We have an 0-3 Philadelphia 76ers team coming into tonight. James Harden and Joel Embiid. Something's going on there in Philly. I don't know what it is. The team's not bad by any means. Like, there's just some bad voodoo going on in Philly. Whether it be Harden, I don't know. The 1-2 Indiana Pacers, though, I mean, we're kind of at the point already where we expect this team and what their point of emphasis is, and that is to go through the young studs. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about, right as you said, Buddy Hield. I think he's going to be gone. I don't think he's going to stay here past the trade deadline.
I love Buddy Hield.
Buddy's a great dude. He gives back to his community in the Bahamas. I mean, back in Oklahoma, he was just a stud. I really like Buddy. He's a great guy, great shooter.
Like I follow him on Twitter, and he has like all these like motivational
he's a good dude
every time, and I'm be like, my day is better because of Buddy.
I might buy a jersey.
Facts. Just because he's just a nice dude. I think the main reason that he's not getting into like a whole lot of trade talks is because of his contract. Mm-hmm. Because he does have a fairly large contract for the qualities that, I mean, again, we're talking about one of the best shooters in the league, but still, it's just like that contract just kind of runs some people the wrong way in front offices because they think they can just replace that when really you can't really replace what Buddy Hield does with somebody who's making not even a quarter but an eighth of what he makes. Like, oh yeah, just is what it is.
I mean, give it up to him. He definitely deserves his bag.
Sure.
Coming down as one of the best NBA 3-point shooters past decade. Mm-hmm. I mean, 3-point champion really as well. So give it up to him. But yeah, a little bit of a preview tonight. This Philly team, I don't know what's going on, man. Like, do you know have you seen this team play this poor recently? Like going back to last season, it wasn't that bad.
The problem is defense.
Well, yeah,
because right now offensively they're playing really well. Because James Harden is playing really well. And I have a couple of theories behind this team to why they're bad.
Dun, dun, dun. Let me hear them,
One, it could be Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers could possibly just be on the hot seat for like the 11th straight time in his career. And I think it could be just that. However, I think it might be a bit of a conspiracy because what's the front office?
Daryl Morey.
Thank you. Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey might be trying to just construct the Houston Rockets and just set in the 7th in Philadelphia. That's what I'm thinking because where's Mike D'Antoni at? Mike D'Antoni has had a couple of other, positions offered to him at the head coach position, but it hasn't really took it and just kind of went with the assistant role.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. Kind of odd.
I think Daryl Morey has been on the phone with, Mike D'Antoni. He was like, hey, you might want to just get that assistant coaching job real quick because we might have a position open in you in 76ers. He probably put that in some type of
Who's trying to run? Why would you run Doc Rivers out, though? Like, Doc's such a good mind. Doc deserves his...
He's an okay NBA head coach, in my opinion. I don't think he's a person that I would put in the position to where, like, oh, this is a team that's hoping to win a championship. Let me get Doc Rivers. I don't know.
I would. I personally would.
I can understand where you're coming from, for sure. But, like, I think why he might want to push him out is just because he wants to have a basically Houston Rockets team, but in Joel Embiid at center. Like, I think that's what Daryl Morey is really trying to build. And so, like, and that's kind of, again, a high-volume play of James Harden. You know, you have brought people in, like P.J. Tucker, who's also part of that, you know, Rockets team, whose job was just to sit in the corner and shoot threes. You have bought a couple other people, like, you know, DeAnthony Melton, to come in, literally just do the same thing. Just
shout out him. He's been really working on.
And then, like, you think people who were, like, very important to the 76ers teams, like Matisse Thybulle and stuff.
Yes.
Who played a bunch of big minutes for the 76ers. Granted, Matisse Thybulle is an absolute zero, dang near negative on the offensive side of the ball. But what he does at the defensive side of the ball is almost irreplaceable. He has played a total, I think, 4 minutes over the last 3 games.
Wow.
And so...
what's going on there?
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking, like, I think I see what you're trying to do, Mr. Daryl Morey. You bring James Harden in, bring in P.J. Tucker, not playing your defensive wing that can't shoot like that, but still is a really good defensive player when you need defense. Oh, Doc Rivers on the hot seat. Mike D'Antoni, where he
Something's
at?
going on, man. Something's weird's happening there.
Something happening. I'm not trying to be on no Windhorse stuff, but I'm just saying something's going on. And
if they're trying to go back to what Houston was, I really hope not. This team is not.
I hope not either.
It didn't even prove to work. So
I mean,
came close. They came a game. They came a game away.
Close. And I think
from the
that's
finals.
what the driving motive behind Daryl Morey is. I think that's the driving motive because they're like, we came that close. If only we had somebody like Joel Embiid on the team, maybe we could have had something happen. But that's just a theory. That's just a theory from Joe, out of Joe's mind. But
I like Joe. I like Joe's mind. Joe,
you know.
Smart idea there.
Yeah.
I think this team just absolutely is not it. I think one thing that the Philadelphia 76ers really need to understand is this is not Kobe and Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't even Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. Harden is and has always been an all-ball dominant player.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid, I mean, who are you going to trust? I don't know what is going on, but Harden, everywhere he goes, he just gets a bad rap. They couldn't even make it out of the first round with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I mean, he couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything, but he could do something with Chris Paul. I mean,
to be fair,
I just don't get it.
I think the Nets situation was a bit different because the Nets were just the Nets. Like, you know what I mean? When you have Kyrie,
there's no defense.
There's no defense, and like even just the off the court stuff. I think, James Harden smelled the smoke in the metaphorical, forest of the Nets. And was like, there's probably fire. Let me get out. You know what I mean? Because just based and to be fair, he was right. Because like what happened in this offseason? Like chaos. Like, you know what I mean? People getting fired, KD requesting trade and everything. I don't think James Harden wanted a part of that. I think he was just like, I'm looking for stability, real stable, just so I can go out, win the championship, and call it a career. But yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
I think that was the right move. But yeah, continue.
No, absolutely. I think the one thing that comes down to this team is, does Harden and Embiid truly work together?
Yeah, I think it does. Because they had like one of the best like offensive plays in NBA history with their pick and roll, nearly unstoppable. However, I think what they have going on is just whenever you have a James Harden led offense, there's almost like a cap to it. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're just a gear that you just can't reach with a James Harden led offense. And I don't know why that is. I think it might be the ISO play or the reliability of like 3-point shooting because, 3 points can only be so reliable at times, and the reliability of the step back and the reliability of ISO. And, I think that might be just it because there's sometimes just a gear, and lack of ball movement maybe. I don't know. But it just feels like there's a cap on James Harden-led offenses. But I don't know.
They're playing P.J. Tucker 39 minutes. That man should be nowhere near 30. Why is Montrezl Harrell playing 3 minutes? What happened to this man?
You see what I'm saying? Isn't that
What's
weird?
going on with
Isn't that weird? That's what I'm saying. It's like
season-
there's something more that has to be going on with this front office that like people aren't talking about. There
Daniel
has
House
to be.
barely played in Utah. He's playing 21 minutes here.
Like there's something going on. I don't know what it is. I mean, granted, they haven't been playing bad, but
They've been close.
They've been close in pretty much all their matchups. But it's just kind of like, why ain't they able to like? What's going on with that end of the rotation type? Why is PJ Tucker playing? What you say, like 39 minutes?
39 minutes
Like, that's
a
disgusting.
game?
Again, I like PJ Tucker. I think he's one of the best role players in the league. However, 39 minutes is absolutely crazy.
You can't be all he does is stand in the corner.
Yes, and it's not like that. You have other people that can like do that though. Like you know, what I
You
mean?
don't need it. Like
I don't know.
I mean, you need him, but you don't need 39 minutes of it every night.
I don't know. There's something going on in the 76ers squad. I'm telling you. Maybe this is just all just smoke and like, you know, just glitter and smoke. Maybe it's just a magic trick and maybe they'll just, pop the rabbit out of their hat.
Hey, we'll soon find out.
And then just, hat trick 3 wins right after back to back to back. And then 500, everything's fine.
Philadelphia does open tonight's contest as a 12.5-point favorite against the Indiana Pacers.
Let's keep it that way.
And I think as Indiana Pacer fans, everyone wants Philly to win this game.
Yeah, we'll root it for you.
Pacers 1-2, Sixers 0-3. That game is about to be starting here in about 2 to 3 minutes at 7 p.m. Go check it. Updates on Twitter. I mean, I know I'm going to be watching wherever I'm going a lot tonight. So it's been a lot of fun, Joe. I love just seeing the future. I hate seeing like what's going on with the bad, of course. Not necessarily the Pacers, but mostly the Colts. I'm an Indy guy. Like I grew up here in Indiana. I have ties here. I always will. I wanted to see the hometown teams in a way still succeed. Not with Matt Ryan at quarterback, so I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, okay.
I love to see
Gotcha.
this Pacers team lose.
Word,
I love
word.
we have a purpose. We're not stuck in that 4th seed play-in, that we've been the last couple of years. But those teams, to be fair, were exciting. For a good couple of years, it was Philadelphia, it was Milwaukee, Miami, Toronto, and then boom, right in there is somewhere Indiana. Between like the 6th seed and the 3 seed. And, they were exciting. It just didn't really work out and didn't translate well to the game of today.
Facts.
So, but I think with Halliburton and I think with Benedict, we're gonna be set. And hopefully we get that man Victor. Not Oladipo. We don't talk about that guy. We want Wembanyama.
Victor who? Wembanyama. That's
Wembanyama.
the only Victor that I don't know.
Absolutely, Joe. Absolutely. Joe, we got 1 more minute here. Anything you want to say as we head out for the night and do our own thing for the people?
Shout out to my best friend Jacob for listening to the part where I called you Jacob.
That's funny. I'm the new Jacob.
Yeah.
Crown me.
Okay, now I hope he didn't hear that.
I think he did.
But yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for listening. And as always, go Pacers.
Absolutely. Go Pacers. Last thing before we get on out of here, Indiana State basketball season. It's coming up. We got the men's team at home on November 1st. That is going to be me and Blake Simpson on the call against Tusculum. So that should be a lot of fun. And the women's team, they're going to start play, I believe, on the 3rd or the 4th of November. Don't remember the team, but you can stay up to date on our website and our social medias to understand all of that. WZIS-FM.org or at WZIS-FM. I think the last thing before I get on out of here, I think you guys just need to stay tuned for Sports Extra Uncut.
Oh, yes.
A lot of great things going on
For sure.
around the station here. You could be a part of it. You could be on Uncut. It's not that hard. You just got to show up and, stay dedicated.
sure.
That's what a lot of us are doing, and a lot of us are passionate about it. And I got to say, I'm really, really excited about
Head
what
over
we've been
heels,
doing.
man.
We just got done with the IBS Awards submissions. I'm proud to be where I'm at. Proud to be here. Love it here. Wouldn't want to change it for the world.
Oh, man.
Absolutely. So, last thing before we get on out of here, go Pacers.
Go Pacers.
Hopefully they lose tonight. We'll see.
Yes.
Hopefully Sam Ehlinger, proves a lot of people wrong, see what he does in his first start, and we'll see what happens with ISU sports around Terre Haute. From my main man, Joseph Moore, and from myself, Kobe Clark, follow all of our social medias at WZIS-FM. Stay up to date with all of us here at the station and see what is going on around here. See y'all next week for another edition of Sports Extra, which will be from 6 to 7, right here on Z90.7 WZIS.